Hello and welcome to episode 8 of the Boss Battle podcast. It's the 27th of December. It's our Christmas edition. We have no proper plan or structure for this podcast. It's going to be ramblings about what we've been doing over the festive period. Welcome along. I'm your host James, and with me today I've got Carl.
Yo!
I've got Chris.
Hello.
And I've got Adam.
Hello.
Merry Christmas, guys.
Merry
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Did you have a good one?
Yes.
Of course.
Oh, that'll be a lovely bit of a Mac noise there to join the podcast.
The Mac was just saying.
Yeah,
the same
Mac was saying was my introduction.
Quite
And
a
I've got
weird
the
Christmas this year. First time I had the Christmas curry for dinner.
On Christmas Day?
Yeah, we went down the Rajnagar for a
Oh, okay.
Christmas dinner. It's quite a bit weird.
Yeah.
It was really nice, but just a bit weird.
It was my first Christmas at home with Laura and Olivia, so that was nice. I cooked Christmas dinner, so it was 3 hours stood in the kitchen.
I did
With
Christmas
20,
dinner.
I did 20-minute intervals, or something had to happen every 20 minutes. It was ridiculous.
Oh, I can imagine the
Tasty.
variety
Really
of different types of sprouts you would
Yeah.
try in and all
It's
that
got
sort of
17
stuff.
types
Imagine
of
you
sprouts.
seasoning 20 varieties of Brussels sprout. And
I
you
had,
get
I had
crown?
braised sprouts.
there we
What?
go.
Did you get a crown or a whole turkey? Or...
We had butterfly
was
turkey.
split
Oh,
into
we had
quarters.
It's meant to be a crown, effectively.
When did this become the Food Network?
Well, it can begin with the food. I'm
It
quite
could
hungry,
be.
actually. Let's open this bag.
You did say Mary Berry was your number one show last week.
I did say Mary Berry is my favourite.
It was actually the number one show in the country. I watched Big Fat Quiz
Over
of the Year
Christmas.
last night.
All right.
I watched the first hour of it, and then we had to go home from my dad's.
Watch Most Expensive Toys that was on before that, I believe.
We watched
was that?
we watched
It
the
was,
Christmas special.
It was a thing on the most expensive toys that anybody can buy for
That
children.
was the most expensive.
There was a £98,000 crystal rocking horse.
Wow.
It was a rocking horse covered in little crystals, £98,000.
And I bet this kid still wouldn't play with it as well.
That, well,
You probably wouldn't be allowed to play with
They
it.
probably love the box it
the
came
funny
in.
thing was that the couple that actually designed this rocking horse borrowed the money before actually having a sale for it, so it's still up for sale. They borrowed all the money to make the horse, and it's still never sold.
I mean, who buys a £98,000 rocking horse?
Rich
suppose
people.
For a child to sit on?
I suppose if you own a few oil fields, it's not.
I can imagine Kanye West seeing that programme.
That's the
buying
sort
it
of
now.
shit, yeah.
It's like,
That's true. Baby Kardashian on a
Yeah.
diamond encrusted
The-
rocking
the-
horse.
The one that got me was a £30,000 car for kids up to the age of 12. It's electric powered, but it was, for one purposes, it's a car. It did up to 20 miles an hour. I thought as a kid, that would be like, imagine Christmas Day opening like this £30,000 mini replica of a car that actually works. Everything inside it
They
works,
could buy
leather
an
seats.
actual car for £30,000.
Yeah, exactly.
A very good car for £30,000.
Yeah, it's quite a good show.
So I don't think a great deal has happened across the industries we typically talk about on our podcast. So gaming has been pretty quiet over the Christmas week since we last recorded. Movies have probably been the busiest. We've had festive
And
television. Deaths, yeah. Festive TV is what it is. We have had a couple of deaths though. We had George Michael on Christmas Day. We had, was it Liz Smith? Am I getting that wrong?
Yeah,
Yeah.
from
The Royal Family.
family, yeah.
95
yesterday.
she was.
Yeah.
I heard something interesting that before he died, he was working in, this is from the Telegraph, was working in a homeless shelter.
Yeah, anonymously
George Michael.
Yeah.
backstage. Is that
He's
called it?
he was a troubled man, wasn't he? I think by all accounts.
Well, he was obviously looking for ways to give back, to be working in that sort of
He was
environment.
only 53 as well, wasn't he? I reckon
Yeah.
today
Half
the revelation
family.
said something to do with heroin.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
Or he was battling a heroin addiction, whether that was the cause of death or not, I don't know.
I'd
But,
say most artists are.
well, he's had his drug problems, hasn't he, over the years?
Yeah,
It's a shame.
and his cock problems.
What? Is it cock problems?
Cock problems.
Right,
Yeah,
okay.
he likes random men, didn't he?
Rest in peace.
Carrie Fisher as well. She's in intensive care.
Yeah.
Ironically, last night I watched the Christmas special of 8 out of 10 Cats, and she was on the Christmas special of 8 out of 10 Cats.
Was she really?
It was probably the last thing she was on before she went into hospital.
Well, it was funny because we just walked out of the Rogue One screening to that news. It was quite relevant, wasn't it?
It was.
Although, obviously, without spoiling anything, her character isn't dead at the end of that film. So
No. Well, it's not even her, effectively.
No, we'll talk about that later. So we're going to talk about today Rogue One a little bit in this podcast, but we are going to record a spoiler cast straight after the episode today and really rip into it and pull apart what we thought of it. So we won't spoil anything in today's episode, but if you want to know what we thought of that, then nip on over to the spoiler cast, which will be live at the same time as this. We haven't really got a great deal of talking points other than Rogue One today and just really what we've been up to since we last recorded. So, Carl, can I start with you?
Yeah. Been eating. drinking and being merry. Watched a few films. Watched the Christmas special of Outnumbered, which was funny, interesting. I mean, it's not aired in a couple of years now, so everyone's all grown
I
up.
was going to say that with the kids and they're all
Yeah,
grown up.
well,
I saw
not kids anymore, really.
I saw them on the One Show or something. They were.
Oh, really?
I saw a YouTube clip of them on the One Show. I think
We watch it all the time. It's brilliant. I love it. It's funny. A lot of it's
Does it work now? They're not kids though.
yeah.
It's still funny.
Yeah, it's still good. And I think they said they're going to do it every couple of years. They're going to do like a Christmas special where they all come together and you just see them age as they go, sort of thing. So that's quite funny. It's quite interesting.
And what else have you been up to?
Just playing a bit of Overwatch. I told you the other day that I opened, I think it was 101 loot boxes, which cost me more than the game is actually worth.
Standard with FIFA. You not played FIFA like that?
I was going to say.
No, but yeah, it's pretty much exactly the same.
I think I've dumped about 150 quid on FIFA since it came out, which is probably small for I compared to a lot of players. But
Still only beats for 1-0.
I haven't played you since I've been
to be fair,
since the last 7 you went on, I haven't played you, so.
Well, I bought 101 loot boxes for their Christmas special to get all the different skins and stuff. I think I mentioned it last podcast, but they cost me, I think it was $31.99 for 50 loot boxes. I think I had one already because it gives you one. So it was $31.99 times 2, so it's nearly 70 quid.
Which is weird because unlike FIFA, where you dump that sort of money on and you hope you're going to get something better to help you improve out of it, on Overwatch you're purely buying cosmetics, aren't you?
Yeah.
Because there's no player advantage to spending that money. It's purely an outfit for your character.
But
and
loads
your
of
voice
people
and-
do it. Loads of
Yeah,
YouTubers.
but I think that's really odd because
Sam's Call of Duty. They've been doing it for years with their basically weapon skins in character outfits. So
I haven't done it since recently.
That's weird though. Like on FIFA, I can't. I mean, I hate myself every time I spend money on it, and I tell myself I won't, but I still do. But at least I feel like I'm doing it to progress in some way. Whereas with Overwatch, you're buying random boxes to get something at the end of it that doesn't actually make any difference how you play.
Yeah.
Gears of War was the same, wasn't it? I moaned about not being able to play as Marcus.
Yeah.
And then I could get him was to dump money into packs or grind the game.
But some
So
of those
hopefully
packs you
that
could
skin.
get.
You get crafting items, couldn't you?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
you're still effectively grinding or dumping money on packs to get something that gives you no advantage.
the only benefit is that when you kill somebody and they get to watch the replay of who killed them, is they see this nice, cool, shiny dude flying
I was
past
going to
them.
say, 'cause it's first,
Yeah, it's first person,
I
so
was gonna
not
say
always.
it's first person, so not even you benefit from whatever you spend your
Oh
money
really? It doesn't even show you a third
But no,
person?
no,
I
when
haven't
you
played it by
kill
the way at
them.
this point,
Yeah.
so it's not even a third person. It's like with Halo, obviously we grinded for ages. Do you remember all the schools we got in
Yeah,
Halo
yeah.
3 to get the samurai armour? Just so that when you kill someone, you run up, teabag them, and it shows
In
you
the
the
samurai
third.
armour.
Well, you can do like an emote,
Samurai
which,
teabag.
Yeah.
you can do like an emote which goes into third person mode, which you see quite often. But yeah, there's just teabagging. What multiplayer game these days doesn't have teabagging? So
Not
not
the
the
good
Chris, not the Chris would know.
What?
So,
Teabagging?
Yeah.
for your benefit as a non-gamer, teabagging is when you kill someone in the game.
Oh, right.
You go over to the dead corpse and you crouch and then stand up and crouch and stand up, and it looks like you're teabagging them.
Oh, so it is.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
Yeah,
what it
it's
is.
what
Yeah.
teabagging
exactly
means,
what
yeah.
But there's no bollocks involved.
Oh, right.
It's,
Okay.
it's basically just sitting on the face over and over again. And then in some games, there's like this proximity audio thing. So like if you get close to someone, they can hear you on your mic. So I think was it Halo that did that? Didn't it? And you
Yeah,
could
Call of
stand, so if
Duty
you
as
stood
well.
over their body, where they wouldn't normally hear you, they can hear you. So you're going, "Yeah, killed you, motherfucker," and then you can dunk your teabag. That's the idea. So, of course, I don't do that.
No.
Normally it's more of a
far
high pitched
above
voice,
that.
and they're probably below.
Yeah, they're
13
like
years
10
old.
and they're doing it.
Or me
Or Adam.
spinning around on their head and break dancing in Destiny.
That's, yeah, you can play Destiny. I hate Destiny.
Right.
I hate that game.
Well, you can do something similar on Overwatch. You can do you can sit on them and stuff. There's a whole different emotes. But they gradually bring different things. I mean, there it's possible that you can get the stuff. I mean, I bought the loot boxes just because I liked unboxing them. But you can get them as you level up. You get a loot box every time you level up. So I mean, if you played enough, you wouldn't have to buy them. So you can do it without buying them, which is good.
Yeah, it's that pack opening mentality from a kid when we used to have
definitely.
the packs of cards or stickers, isn't it? And there was the excitement of opening and seeing what you
Yeah.
got. You know, you wouldn't go to shop and just buy 8 average cards.
Yeah.
But you would buy the pack and hope that you might get something really
Well,
good.
that's
in
the
there.
whole FIFA nostalgia, isn't it? With the
Yeah,
Ultimate
yeah.
Team, is how we growing up. You had the Panini whatever that was, Panini.
Panini. On that topic,
Secret
I
set.
bought my brother a Panini book, and it's a collection of all the World Cup Panini albums since 1970 to 2014, fully completed. So it's about that thick and it weighs a ton. It's almost like Argos catalogue style, thin paper pages.
Yeah.
But all the albums have been completed, all the players' profiles there, all the pictures and stuff. So you can go right back to into the 90s and find the World Cups and see the England team from the 90s or whatever. Ironically,
So
they were in it 94, were they?
Yeah, mainly that your brother loves all that.
Yeah, so he's really into stats and football and stuff. So, and we used to collect those as a kid, so I think it was a nice thing to see. I actually saw it bizarrely on 8 out of 10 Casters Countdown. I think it was Rob Beckett was doing the Dictionary Corner spot, and he got it, the previous version from the one I bought from a few years ago. Mine's the one with the latest World Cup in, and he was doing like a camera spot on it and looking at the funny player names and stuff. And I thought, I wonder if that's real. I presume that's real, and I looked it up and it was, and I thought, what a great present! So I bought it.
Cool.
And it was good. It went down well. So.
Just to quickly interrupt Carl's Christmas thing. I mean, I was on the last podcast where you spoke about it, but I know you both bought Forza. I was wondering what your impressions were on that.
I love it.
I have not played much of it, but what I have played, I've
I know we had a little blast the other day, didn't we?
I've probably put about 2-3 hours into it, and I haven't got very far. I haven't really got past all the tutorial elements. I think there's still some things that it keeps teaching me about perks and stuff. But I like it. It seems good. I mean, as far as driving games go, it's not my thing normally, but I like the fact that it's a little.
I thought it'd be a bit more than your thing, really, than normal Forza.
It's half and half.
It is. No, it is. I mean, if you'd asked me the same question about Forza 6, I'd probably said I took it back already. But Forza Horizon is different, isn't it? It is arcadey. It's got a bit of fun to it. You can. Although we were racing, we were doing a race, weren't we? And it was the first time I experienced it. It kept resetting me for doing and telling me off. And I hadn't done anything.
It was hitting the wall like there was
the first time I hit
sharp
the wall.
right hander, like basically hairpin right. He went straight into it, and it just reset him.
Yeah, I hit the wall hard, and it went, oh, naughty or something. And I was like, what have I done? I don't get it. And then it reset me.
Must be a setting of that or something.
Yeah, and then later on. I don't know if it's because we were playing multiplayer and it deemed me to be cheating or something. I don't know. But then it did it I was miles ahead anyway, it made no difference. But it did it two times later for absolutely nothing. I'd gone past a couple of people, I was cruising down the road, and all of a sudden it reset me and they put me back last again. And I'm like, well, what the fuck was I supposed to have done?
I do enjoy the Goliath races. I've done 6 laps Goliath races. They're brilliant because it's pretty much just flat out for most of
an hour for racing.
Yeah. I think 4 laps takes just about an hour.
Oh God,
it's like
just short of 9, about 9.5 minutes if you're good.
Yeah, on an A class it takes about 12 minutes. But yeah, it is.
Yeah, that sounds no, I will not be doing.
I did one on S3.
Four laps.
I did 6. It might have been 7 actually. But it's just fun, and plus you'll make so much money and so many skill points that you'll just be set.
Yeah, I haven't really paid any attention to my skill points or the cars I can buy. I've just been playing whatever I've been given up to now and just.
We had to play, James is like, just play. It was all the most powerful car ever. He put us both in the same car, and I was in this 1,100 brake Camaro that just didn't stop. Good in a straight line, didn't turn. It's like, what the hell is this thing?
And I like driving it in the first person view. And the problem with this particular modification was the engine comes out of the bonnet.
So I
could literally see nothing.
Well,
I got the supercharger sticking about the side.
Funnily enough, I played with a few guys from work. We played Forza 6, and obviously I hadn't played much Forza 6 this time. And there's one guy at work who played loads of it, and we was doing it with a few other guys that were just silly. And we played. It was a wet track at night in a Formula 1 car with everything turned off, first person view, and pretty much we all started off just spanning a circle for like the first 10 minutes. It was funny. I won that one.
It's terrible, isn't it?
It's literally just had to be really.
Was the winner the one who managed to get the car to go straight?
Yeah, well, it was me because you just carefully just apply the right trigger. It basically wasn't driving a Formula 1 car.
10 miles an hour around.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's just design for steering wheels, all that stuff, isn't it? Steering wheels, and so you can.
To a certain extent, yeah. It was just mental. I think the fact that it was in the wet is just like, well, you're just going to spin in a circle now.
And what did the Jolly Fat Man bring you on Christmas morning?
A spaceship.
A spaceship.
Yeah, a spaceship.
Your very
he
own
bought me a spaceship, a track day in a GTR or a selection of cars that you can choose. I think it's 4 laps or something, and the Mega Drive collection. Now the spaceship, I will note, isn't an actual spaceship. It's the spaceship from the Lego movie.
But you haven't started constructing.
No, I haven't started constructing yet because my back is broken. So, and last time I did the helicarrier last Christmas, it took me that long that my back was just, because I was leaning over so much, it was like, yeah, your back's going to hurt for a couple of days.
Is it comparable in size then? I mean, I don't
No,
know.
it's a lot smaller.
Yeah.
It's a lot
Because
smaller.
that helicarrier is ridiculous.
Yeah. And I got the I'm not sure what it's called. It's I think I told you, the Black Panther jet from Captain America 3. I got that as well. That's not very big at all.
Cool.
Oh, I'm running out of places.
Mega Drive collection, was that the one for the 360 or the?
No, it's like the classic
NES,
head,
so
but
it's
the
the
Mega Drive.
small Mega Drive.
Yeah,
That's
it's
cool.
got Mortal Kombat. It's got a
Rage.
bunch of games. No, it's not got Streets of Rage.
What?
I think.
Oh, the best
well,
one.
Yeah, I think it's because they've still got Streets of Rage on the Xbox. I
Yeah,
think.
that's
Or it might be the iPhone. I can't remember.
No, the
It's probably
Xbox
a
has
whole
got
other
the
licensing challenge.
Yeah,
it's still on the arcade. The
But
Xbox
it
arcade
had.
still.
Streets of Rage is probably not a Sega game. It's probably some other company who
Yeah,
refused to license it.
but it had Mortal Kombat 1, 2 and 3, and it also had Sonic and Golden Axe. It's had
Golden
pretty much all
Axe is brilliant.
Yeah, it's got
Because there's probably a whole load of
About
games
four Golden
that you
Axes.
associate with the Mega
Yeah.
Drive. It's probably different to Nintendo, whereas Nintendo tends to be the sort of beloved classics are Nintendo's own games. Whereas Sega, there was a lot of really good third-party stuff, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Micro Machines probably not on there, is it?
No, it's not.
Which was a
It's
classic
just
thing.
Space
Like,
Micro
Harrier,
Machines.
was that on there?
None of the
I don't think
FIFAs
so,
and stuff
no.
will be on there.
Alter Beast.
But they were
Alter
all
Beast was-
somebody
Yes.
else's, weren't they? That was EA and whatever. So
Alter Beast.
it's a bit tricky, isn't it? Whereas there aren't that many games that you think about where Nintendo's concerned that weren't their own. That would be such a problem to get on the console.
Yeah, it had Sonic, Sonic 2, Sonic and Knuckles, Sonic Pinball.
Sonic and Knuckles I had as a kid, I like that.
Sonic 2 was good as well because we played a couple of 2 players. But the problem is they were wireless pads, but they're infrared. So we had to put the pad on the coffee table in front of us, and I kept like putting my feet up, and I'm like, "Well, it's not working!" And I had to keep moving my feet. And when Vicky was playing, she was holding it, but she kept putting her finger over the infrared. She said, "It's not working." I was like, "You've got your finger over the infrared again."
It's funny.
I had that back in the day. I actually had the infrared set for the old Mega Drive with the actual infrared controllers, and they didn't very great.
I had read about it, obviously, with the NES Classic being announced, and then the Mega Drive one was sort of heavily promoted thereafter.
Yeah.
The only negative thing anyone had to say about it was the fact that they'd gone wireless, but they'd used infrared.
Yeah.
And therefore, it was a bit tricky. You had to hold the pads at a certain angle.
Yeah, you can actually buy, if you can get any of the old Mega Drive cartridges, you can actually put the bin in.
Oh, so they'll even take the Mega Drive cartridge. So you could, in theory, go and get Micro Machines off eBay or something.
Yeah,
For playing.
and also you can actually, if you buy the old controllers as well, it's got a port for the controller, so you can actually have it wired if you want to.
If you want
That's
a
quite
wi-
good then. So just keep if you've got a dodgy old console, but the games are still good, it's a way to keep it alive.
If you want a wired one, I've got about 7 wired controllers
Oh
upstairs
yeah,
that aren't used.
that probably would be handy.
So you're more than welcome to one.
Oh yeah, when I got it first, 'cause obviously I was watching Christmas Day, I was watching a bunch of telly and stuff. I actually tried to put it through the Elgato, and it would go through to the OBS software, but it wouldn't go through to the monitor, which was a bit of a pain in the arse. So I don't know. It kept coming up without a range. I did a couple of Google searches and stuff, but then I just put it on the big telly, which I had to find another wire for because there was no component ports for it, which you'll probably find on your telly actually. There was a little special wire I had to use to plug it in.
I don't mind.
It was just a yellow and a
Is
white
it component
cable.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so it doesn't even use aerial. They've actually just gone down the component route. The modern TV didn't still have aerials. It's been that long.
Yeah,
since I've
they do,
looked
yeah.
at it.
They have to have aerials because the smart TV features require an aerial in order to be able to access the terrestrial TV channels.
Yeah, I plugged my aerial in yesterday purely to watch the. In fact, it was
Queen's
the no, not the Queen's speech, because the Queen's speech would have been the day before.
Oh, yeah.
But not the Overwatch, the Outnumbered Christmas special and the Big Fat Quiz of the Year. Other than that, my telly aerial's never plugged in because it's all through Netflix or other means, Amazon and stuff.
Shall we move on to
let Chris talk because he's
Chris,
far too
what have you been
comfortable to
doing?
forward.
How was
I'm
Christmas?
rocking back in his chair now to lean forward again now.
Get your ass forward and tell us what you did at Christmas.
Well, ironically, it was quite interesting listening to you all there because I always had this impression the way you guys eloquently talk about gaming, and I think actually
Eloquently?
it sounds quite mature and grown up
it's not
actually.
mature.
And you then talk about the fact that there's a game where you do teabagging, and it makes you realise actually no, it's still a man-child thing, isn't it? But anyway, that's a bit of
Have
an
you not
aside.
played GTA with
I don't teabag. Do you teabag? We know about
Yeah, you all know about it. You all know about it.
It gets done to
because
me
you
on a
see
regular
people
basis.
exactly. Yeah.
Are you the victim to these bloody kids?
Yeah, I'm the one who's
God,
who's
this
on the receiving
generation.
end.
Anyway, So I have finished the series in the short time between the previous podcast and this, and that's Band of Brothers. So I'm really behind because it's about 10 years old, maybe more, and it was as good as I expected it to be. So I don't know if any of you guys seen it.
No,
Never watched
I'm
it,
going to assume
unfortunately.
some sort of war-related program.
Yeah,
it's
I really recommend it. So it's
No
effectively and what really? Do you like
Nah,
Saving Private
I
Ryan
don't-
and those sort of films?
Not really. I don't like
I think
anything
as a
based
film,
in sort of
you know.
olden times.
I'm completely opposite. I find it
Struggle.
interesting.
Is it based on the whole like areas of
So it's based on
joined up
it
together,
starts-
so everyone knew everybody?
So it starts. It's basically following a specific air squadron in the US Army, and it starts off. It's 10 episodes, and it starts off where they're sort of in a British. They're based in Britain and doing a bit of a training camp before D-Day, and it's sort of pretty much their journey. It's a true story. It's all based on a tale of one of the survivors, and it's. It sort of starts, so their journey in terms of the war effort itself starts off with D-Day landings, and they sort of drop into France, I think it is at the start, and then the course they sort of take, the path they take sort of takes them into a few different countries, Holland being one of them. I can't forget now, so it sounds really bad, so I only just watched it. A lot happens, and you sort of lose track, and then they end up in Austria towards the very end. And it's brilliant because I find stuff like that really interesting, and it makes you kind of really grateful to not have, quite frankly, have had to have gone through such times.
It makes you realise those sort of films, what are sort of, you know, a lot of us are grandfathers are probably in the army, what they actually went through, and what they actually experienced.
There's a real nobility to war then, because it doesn't portray, and this backs up what I used to sort of hear from picking my granddad's brain as a child. There wasn't when you speak to people that actually served in the war, and they don't hate the Germans in the way maybe you stereotypically think they do, because it was effectively they were just doing their bit for their country, as you were for them. It was man against man, and the way it's filmed, it's very, very like Saving Private Ryan. You know, the beach landings in Saving Private Ryan. If you ever seen that opening montage, that is pretty much how it's framed. So it's the executive producers are Tom Hanks and Spielberg, and I think they did it on the back of Saving Private Ryan, and then seeing this book that this soldier had released, and it's brilliant because it's you get really attached to the characters, but then as you'd expect, the truth was that some of them did die, and some of them then they've got one character, without spoiling too much, that is one of the bravest soldiers you'll ever in the whole program, not the bravest, that's sometimes the most sort of macho, if you like. And there's a moment where he sees two of his close friends dead, and from that moment he basically had to be signed off from war. So it was almost like an early sign of what do they call it? PTSD, yeah, which wasn't really, I don't think it was known then. So they kind of signed him off because they realised he's gone. But it was just fascinating to see someone that was just such an amazing soldier then saw two of his friends die, which you kind of imagine like one of us seeing two of us die in warfield. And it was just incredibly powerful how they shot that, and you just from that moment, like flick the switch, he was out of it, and they had to sign him off.
The whole thing is, like my granddad said to me, he said, you never saw. So when you saw one of your friends drop dead next to you, that was with you for life. You never saw the people you were killing.
No.
And you never saw the impact that had on other
didn't.
people. So to see, like, you're running along and gone this whole war with two of your closest friends, and to see them die, the impact that must have.
There's a moment where one of the sort of characters says he deliberately, there's a point we reach in the war where he deliberately stopped sort of getting close to the new recruits, because they're obviously keen to befriend the ones that have been doing the war effort longer, because they're new to combat, and so they almost look in awe of you and want to be your friend and stuff. And because he'd seen like some of his friends die, he deliberately was a bit like detached from them and wouldn't really kind of reciprocate the sort of friendship, because he said it was too hard to befriend people, have that emotional bond beyond just they're your compatriot, and then watch them die. And it's just really interesting, and it really made me think anyway of just how kind of horrible the current climate is, in the sense that a war now, it's cowardly, it's this remote controlled detonator type crap, and terrorism. It's horrendous, and
the thing is, it's not war the same as war was back then. No. You had the whole Germany trying to take over a lot of countries they shouldn't have been trying to take over, trying to wipe out all the Jews and stuff. This day and age, it's not about that. it's I want control of this to make money from this.
Yeah, it's
Whereas
ridiculous.
like World War One, World War Two weren't based around that at all. It
No,
was
you
about
watch it.
controlling areas and controlling.
No
populations.
religion involved either, was
No,
it really? To a
no,
certain
no,
extent?
there wasn't really, other than like the whole Jewish thing. But that was
So World War Two was pretty much motivated by
that was from Hitler.
Yeah, but it's different to
That was
terror.
from Hitler being a
isn't
bit
it, in way?
mental, but like his whole generals and the way they worked around everything and the way they attacked certain countries in order, and the way they come up with attacking people, it wasn't monetary based. It was like, we are the best. We're going to prove we're the best, and we're going to take over everybody.
It's just a really powerful watch. I recommend it for anyone that is into the history, really, because it's very factual, and it's, as I say, it's not this one-sided blinkered. The Americans were the heroes, the Nazis weren't they horrible? It's very much like, well, it's just men against men, and it was.
It's like the whole Christmas Day,
really.
like going back to Christmas Day theme. In World War One, in the trenches when they was there, they stopped for an hour, went out, played football, showed pictures of each other's families, and then went back to shooting each other because it wasn't.
Bizarre, isn't it?
It wasn't. They had no animosity. I mean, they didn't know the other person they were shooting or trying to kill. They had nothing against that person. They were doing their duty to their country because they were patriots. They wanted to do what.
And there were some of the
when
well.
you look back at it and you think about the bigger picture and the fact that happened, it's kind of a bit disgusting, isn't it? Really?
And it was like
they were fighting for no reason.
It was like, Carl,
dying for no reason.
Carl, you jump over that hill. No, well, I'm going to shoot you.
Trenches were horrible. Yeah.
So you go over there and kill that guy. No, I don't want to. Like, I'll shoot you myself. Then it's just it's stupid.
Well, that got really deep.
We went from a cooking channel to then the history channel.
Teabagging.
I don't think in World War One in the trenches there was any teabagging.
Grenade.
What else did you do over Christmas?
So don't watch. Just to sum up, Andrew, don't watch it if you're looking to cheer yourself up or anything. However, if you're seriously into your history and you want to watch a drama that's gritty and real and has a real humanity to it, I strongly recommend it. It's really good.
One question though.
Yeah.
Did it have Michelle Keegan in it?
No, sadly.
Oh.
It's to be honest, it's incredibly. It's what you call a sausage fest, really. It's just
I can't imagine
it. To the context, there's the odd woman.
Not many women back in World War II.
Yeah, exactly. The only other thing I've done in terms of movies, which I'll review specific later, is I watched a film on Christmas Day on Sky Movies. So the only film I've seen in the cinema is Rogue One, which we'll discuss in the spoiler cast. But I have seen an original film that was out this year, earlier in the year in the cinema. I didn't see it in the cinema, but I saw Christmas Day. So I'll review that later.
Okay. Adam, what has your last few weeks been like and what have you been doing for the festive period?
Obviously, I said in the previous episode I had my PS4. Well, that was from my parents for Christmas, so I've deliberately not been playing it up until Christmas, just so it was sort of still a little bit of a surprise. Was ill yesterday, so unfortunately I still haven't been able to play.
The listener, that's Chris opening his giant bar of Galaxy.
You did say earlier, because it was a festive edition, it's fine with sound effects, so I'm just taking that literally. There you go.
That's sufficiently open now.
Yes.
For Adam.
I'm pretty sure he just opened it for me.
I have. Go on.
Well, I can't. No, I'm not going to talk with my mouth full.
You're
Anyway, we're interrupted. Adam, carry on.
Yeah, what was I?
You're talking about your PS4?
Oh, yeah, PS4. So, I've got my PS4, I've got Uncharted 1, 2 and 3 to play through.
I got the collection.
Yeah.
It's good.
I have played the first one, but I haven't played the second or third, so I'm going to start playing for them. I think, James, you wanted to play through bits sort of together.
Yeah, I'm about 75% of the way through 2, so you might want to both try and finish that and maybe do 3 together.
Yeah.
Otherwise I'll never finish them.
I also got The Last of Us Remastered PS4, which is a game that since PlayStation... I mean, I had a PlayStation 3 early on, and then I was waiting for Gran Turismo to come out, which took years to actually finally arrive, and it wasn't that good.
Yeah.
So I sold my PS3 sort of straight after that.
I had 3 PS3s during its lifetime. Bought one, sold it, didn't need it. Bought one, sold it, didn't need it. Bought one, kept it.
And
never played it.
Yeah, I think I sold mine to my mum and dad. I think they use it as a DVD player in the house.
All it was good for.
Yeah.
If you got an Xbox anyway.
And then so I've got that to play through, the remastered version, which I'm really looking forward to because I've heard a hell of a lot about that game. It's one of the
Good
best
game, but it takes a toll.
Well, the main reason I wanted to play was because I know the new one's coming out.
Yeah, well, I think that's going to be a while.
I think you've got a couple of years.
Yeah.
I don't think it's next year.
Really? I thought it was a mobile.
No. It's only just been teased, hasn't it?
They've just dropped a very, very short trailer on it. It's not imminent.
So I've got that to dig my teeth into. I also had a driving experience day, Fast and the Furious / Classic Muscle car experience day, which I'm really looking forward to. Just a few bits and bobs, beer, socks,
Socks.
the usual
Man
stuff.
Christmas.
Katie, my missus, did get me a slot machine, like a little money bank. Well, not
Because
little
you
one,
need
so-
encouraging with that.
Yeah, a little money bank slot machine, but it takes 98% of the world's coins apparently. So you can put anything into it and it will pay out whatever you put in.
Cool.
It's a savings bank. Surely it should never pay out.
Well,
Or it should tease you with £1 or two and
Yeah.
go, oh. I'll be keeping that 500.
lots of sweets, which I probably don't need.
Everyone needs sweets.
And
He sends us each galaxy.
Stuff in his face
a
with
£50
chocolate.
game card, which I walked into game today and was tempted because I've been so on about getting the controller that I want. The
Titanfall 2.
yeah, but the controller I've been on about getting
The Elite.
the elite controller.
Yeah.
Still £120 in there.
I saw an offer.
£99.
No, I saw an offer. Gears of War 4 and an Elite controller for $99.99.
I've got both of them. Well, I've got a Gears of War 4.
Game have got a sale at the moment. You can get Infinite Warfare for £20.
Yeah, but I'm
Yeah,
just
but
quite looking at the
I
controller.
went in after the elite controller. It's still to buy separately is £119.99.
Buy
You're
the Gears of War and sell Gears of War then.
You're talking about Infinite War. It was for sale. The Legacy Edition, I think it's called, Legendary Edition, £55.
Yeah.
Which leads me to believe that they're not far away from releasing the other one separately.
Just COD on its own is £20.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So,
Which means that no one's buying it.
no. So that means, I mean, the fact that they're releasing the Legacy Edition at £55,
I'd be
sort
really
of things they'll
interested.
both be come separately on.
They'll
the
never
marketplace.
release the numbers, but I'd love to know how Infinite Warfare versus is holding up against the remastered
Yeah,
version.
definitely.
Because I can't imagine Infinite Warfare doing as well,
No.
anywhere near as well as the last COD.
The
Well,
thing with
I
games
actually
well-
played it online. They did a free weekend last weekend, which
Yeah, you said, didn't you?
I had a little blast on that, and it isn't a bad game, but it's very similar to the last one.
Yeah, I've watched Vicky.
There's no difference.
It's just
There's
prestige.
the zombies version. Zombies very good. The actual online was. It was good. It's a normal COD. It's a good game, and the maps seem a lot smaller. It's like they've learnt their lesson. People don't play COD for massive lines of sights and massive.
Yeah, they play to
If you want to
spawn then die.
Yeah,
Spawn,
if
then
you want to do
die,
that, you play
spawn, then die.
Battlefield.
Yeah.
It's very sort of close quarters, and the way you rank up and the way that like you mod your players and stuff. It seemed a very good idea, but once again, I played a lot of time into the last one, so it just felt exactly the same as playing the last game.
The thing that made me laugh with game is I got that email saying that there was like a few saving things. It just looks stupid. I mean, the people who send these emails are thinking, just don't put the pre-owned prices on there because it's like, oh, Call of Duty £20, pre-owned £30. I'm thinking, why? It's just daft.
But it's to try and make you realise that it's a really good offer because actually it's dropped so much in price that it's now.
But I
even
just
cheaper than the
realised it's
pre-owned
just
version.
stupid. You just.
It's laziness, isn't it?
I'll tell you a good trick. How my brother made a bit of money a few years ago. He was looking at, can't remember what game it was that he was trying to buy, but he went into game and it was £12, and he went into HMV and it was £4 in HMV. So he went back to game and found out, oh, what's your trading price on this game? £10 they was offering. So he went back to HMV, brought all the copies HMV had, which was like 6 or 7 copies at £4, took them back to game and sold them all. £70.
Makes sense.
It's mad though, isn't it? How
I'd imagine those opportunities are few and far between.
How different, but how different stores operate and what they sell things at is ridiculous.
I don't think there's any real reason to go into a shop like Game and buy a game anymore.
No.
I think you'll always find it cheaper on Amazon.
I mean, the only reason I've got these game vouchers is because it's from my missus.
yeah,
She
for
doesn't
gift vouchers
understand.
makes perfect sense.
I'd much rather have, which I hope she doesn't listen to this, but I'd much rather have Xbox store credit
So
or Xbox store credit cards or something like that. It's a lot easier to use, like buy say add-ons for games.
I still think you're best if you want a voucher or anything, you want an Amazon voucher. I can't think of anywhere else that you can get better value really.
Well,
Because they've got so much power now.
I went into game on Christmas Eve just to pick something up. I picked up because I think the year before, or it might have been the year before that actually, I bought the season pass for one of the Call of Duties for Vicky, and I went in there this Christmas Eve to buy the season pass for Infinite Warfare because she's been playing it a lot, and you can't actually buy the season pass. You can just buy the amount of money for the season pass.
Yeah.
Benefit the podcast. Oh yeah.
And it just seemed bizarre. So yeah, that was.
The thing that annoys me the most about, I love just being able to download straight from the Xbox store. I think it's a brilliant idea. I love queuing it all up so that I can buy it 2 weeks in advance.
Yeah.
Set it to download. It's already downloaded on my console, and at 12 o'clock, the game's active.
Yeah.
I love that. The thing that I don't love about paying the extra £8 or £9
Or more. Yeah.
But yeah, that's a standard price on it,
Yeah.
and then Tesco are then selling it £20 even cheaper than that.
Well,
That's the most annoying thing, and I haven't got the actual copy of the game.
I do like that digital advantage, and I like it on certain things. But recently, I've been sort of digging through and sorting out my games collection of what's left of it from what I haven't flogged off in years gone by and regretted. And I went through the last of my 360 games. I kept a selection of 360 games when the Xbox One came out, just ones that I really liked, or ones that were sort of collectory editions, and just stuff that I wanted to get back to playing. And I've got more than I'd realised. And I've stupidly realised I've gone and rebought some of these games in digital on the sale. So I've bought like Devil May Cry, the new one, the Devil May Cry 4 edition they released. I've got a few of these games, and I went and dug the disc down. And bloody hell, I've already bought these again. What a dickhead! And I'd like having them digitally because I think like everything's digital at the moment, isn't it? But there is just something nice.
There's no getting up out your chair.
Yeah, but there is just something nice about owning something, because the problem is that with FIFA and stuff, I've bought FIFA digitally now for the last 3 or 4 years, and I don't care because it's worth nothing at the end of it, and I don't have any intention of going back in 5 or 10 years time playing FIFA 10 or whatever. I don't care. But there are some games that it is nice to go back and play, and actually with digital you are at the mercy of Xbox or Microsoft in order that they make this stuff readily available. So if in 20 years time you want to turn your Xbox One on and re-download a game, will you be able to? I don't know.
I bought.
I don't think you will.
For my little one, like I bought her a Fire Stick for Christmas. We've put what's it called?
Are we going to be stepping into illegal streaming territory here? And you're going to say Cody, aren't you?
I put that on there so that she can.
But we do not endorse.
We'll beat that out.
So that she can watch it in her bedroom and whatever.
Oh, that's okay then. That's
And
legal.
yeah, it's legal. That is. And like as a secret,
listening to the Pirate Podcast.
as like a secret present, I just bought it because we like playing them through the Lego games together. It's something we've always done ever since she was little, just because there's little puzzles in there. It's a little bit of fun.
Spaceship.
And we bought. I bought the new Lego Jurassic
Poor
Park.
fucker with the headphones in, just gone fucking alcohol.
We could put a headphone one on that bit.
I bought the Lego Jurassic Park, which I thought, because I love Jurassic Park in my, I thought it'd be a bit of fun.
I had that for Father's Day last year. Still haven't played it. I really want to.
But so we're going to play through that, and I bought Harry Potter years 1 to 4, I think it is, the first disc, 360. And I said to her like earlier, I was like, yeah, we'll have a game. I'll whack it in the Xbox One and we'll play. In the Xbox One we'll play it. No.
Well, not everything's backwards
I
compatible.
know, but you think a game like that, like Lego.
But it's down to the manufacturer and the publisher side to decide whether they make it backwards.
That's what I mean.
I
But
found the same
that's
thing.
simple, something that's a well-known sort of brand.
Yeah, but it's not about well known. It's about whether or not that company intends to do something else with it. So some companies won't make things backwards compatible because they're going to remaster it, and I'm doing air quotes, to
make money.
In order to make money, yeah. So if they're going to remaster it and sell it to you for a tenner, they don't want you putting your old disc in and playing it for free. I had the opposite. I got Burnout Revenge, which is still my favourite Burnout.
Brilliant game.
And I think on the 360 it was an up-resed version of the Xbox title or PS2.
Okay.
Because it was so old.
Brilliant
the
game.
first
They had
proper,
the MR2 on the front, didn't it?
the first proper Burnout game on that generation was Paradise. So Takedown, or Revenge, or it was called, sorry, was the last of the old console upgrades.
It wasn't free roam, was it? You could just choose your tracks.
Yeah, but I loved that. That's what I loved about it. I loved that you just worked your way through the challenges. And I tried to put that into my Xbox One, thinking that's just entry backwards compatible. No, chuffed it back out. There's over like 150 titles that
I think one of the Burnouts did recently become
Paradise.
Was it Paradise?
Paradise is on there for free.
It's free now when we got Games of Gold.
Oh, right, okay.
But yeah, I tried to put my favourite one in and didn't want to know.
I did download that last as well, another Games of Gold game.
I downloaded it. I have no intention of playing it.
Scared the crap out of it.
It's supposed to be really bad.
I was like, literally, whenever you die, it resets you back to the start.
Yeah.
I have a video I would like us to do at some point. This is really off topic and we need to move on shortly. But on the PSVR, I've got the Resident Evil demo, which is for release in January. We absolutely need to get the 4 of us together, stick a camera on,
reaction.
and see who can play that game for the longest.
It's going to be Carly.
It ain't going to be me. I'll jump at everything.
I put the non-VR version on because my demo hadn't downloaded the latest update, and they've added VR to the demo, and it hadn't. I played the normal one, but in the VR headset, so it was like a 200-inch screen, and I was playing this game at the demo, and the only thing it does, it wakes you up in this sort of rotten old house, paper peeling off the walls, wooden beams showing and stuff, and it says, "Get out of the house. That's your mission." You're like, "Well, I don't know why. I've got a torch. It's fairly dark, but there's light bleeding through some of these boarded up windows." I got as far as the kitchen, heard a noise. And I was like, nope, headset off. I'm not playing that. So I'd be interested to see how far any of us could get in that without shitting your pants. Because I think it's one of those. I think I don't like horror games. I'm not sure how many of you like horror stuff in general.
I don't mind horror things
no,
as long as there's other people there with me.
Yeah.
But I mean, you
there's
playing
something about VR,
Alien
though.
Isolation. I love it. But sat with you, I could play it. That thing ain't going to my Xbox when I've been at home.
I think if you were to play that in VR though, even in just the 200-inch cinema screen, because you're sort of isolated into this headset, there is something about that makes it quite
Well, just taps all your
Laura's
senses.
in the room with me, and I'm like, I can't play this now. Partly because I was quite slightly concerned about my, any kind of credibility I have with her being completely shattered, actually shitting myself. In the
Piss yourself.
Yeah.
Well, I jump at stuff that's not jump scares, so I'd be buggered.
Yeah.
But I jump at stuff that's in Toy Story.
I'd like to see Connors do it, just to see what he'd be like.
Yeah.
So he probably.
I remember seeing Connors on the Oculus.
I don't want to brag, but I once watched the film. I'm forgetting the name of it now. It's the one where masked strangers break into
Who's
terrorise
next?
this. No, not
I'm alone.
No.
I'm alone.
I'm alone.
Is it the one where the woman,
It's the one where
girl?
they're masked.
Escape room.
No.
Panic room.
No.
I'm
sure it's Strangers is in the title. But anyway, I watched that film. It's basically about a house being burgled and terrorised. And I watched that sat in my own on a house I rented with friends at the moment. They were both out on the night. And I watched that. I didn't want to leave the room though. That was the only thing. I didn't want to leave the room.
But see, I think there's something different though from watching. Watching is
involved,
passive, isn't it? When you're in this virtual reality headset and you are the one moving from room to room, and with these headphones on that you're encompassing everything you can hear is coming from the game. You don't hear the world around you, and there's just something pretty terrifying about being in a world that you know isn't real, but not knowing what's going on in the world around you and not knowing what's going on in the game. I heard one noise and I literally papped it. So.
Well, I'll tell you what. When we get together on New Year's Eve, we'll put Chris on the PlayStation VR and we'll record it.
No, because I won't see that now. We have to do it.
Yeah, we'll record it on
Time
YouTube.
doing it.
You won't see it because you'll just see Chris.
No, I want to be there to see his reactions to it.
That neatly brings me on to what I've been doing the last couple of weeks, because PSVR is on my list. So I'll quickly run through because we should get on to Rogue One, and then we've got a festive quiz for this episode. And we're already tracking in at about 40 minutes, I think. So we clearly haven't been together for a while because we're going off tangent.
Well, it's been about 3
So I did a few things. No one's mentioned Mario Run. That came out after our last episode, just before Christmas. I know you guys from conversations off the podcast aren't that impressed.
Well, I don't mind it. I'm just not paying for it.
I have a couple of thoughts on this. So
I downloaded it,
yeah.
played it, told you I deleted it. On your recommendation that I give it a little bit longer, I've re-downloaded it. Do like the whole ticket. What's it? Toad Rally. Is it Toad Rally?
Toad Run's it, yeah.
So do like that bit, but I still haven't paid the $7.99.
So I have to be honest, I haven't put it back on since I broke up from work. It's my kind of commute thing to do. Laura's really into it. The thing that's really pissed me off about it, I really like the game. I think it's really cool. I think it's fun. It's Mario. It's what you expect from Mario. It's nothing overly complicated. There's different layers of challenge. So there's 6 worlds, 4 levels per world. So there's enough of a game there for the money they're asking. I don't think it's unreasonable because it's a good game.
You only get 7 worlds in the full 40 games.
For every level, you've got 3 different tiers of difficulty. Effectively, you've got the pink coins to collect, the purple coins to collect, and the black coins to collect. So you've got reasons to go back and replay and test your skills and stuff, which I really like. I think visually it's great. The character stuff is really good. I like the little world builder. That's novelty. It's a bit of fun. And Toad Rally's a really good way to keep you going. The thing that's really pissed me off about it is the way they've gone about selling it, because I don't know how much you know about the family account that you can have with iTunes. So I've got this with Laura and Olivia. So they're all on my account, which means if I buy something or they buy something and I have to sign it off, forget what I pay for it.
Yeah, everyone gets it.
Everyone gets it.
Yeah.
Mario, that's not the case because they give you the game for free, and then the levels are an in-app purchase.
Yeah.
In-app purchases are not family considered. So therefore
Really? I
they
didn't
are.
know.
So if you buy, Laura will know if you listen to this now, but she doesn't know at the moment that I've paid twice for the game because I just said, "Oh, don't worry, it'll say it's going to charge, but it won't. It'll just download it for you." Because I knew she'd want to play it and she wouldn't have it for £8 because she wouldn't want me paying that, but I did anyway. So I paid for it twice because I wanted her to be able to play it. But I think that's a real con. I think they've done it
that is terrible,
purely to squeeze money. There's absolutely no other reason. That if they turn around and say, "Oh, so people can try it out," bollocks. People would have bought it anyway.
If I
For
bought
Mario, they'd
it,
have
I
paid
know for a
£8 for
fact
it anyway.
my little one, because she loves
wanna play
Mario,
it, yeah.
will want that game on
And
her
she can't
phone.
play it unless
Yeah.
you pay another £8.
Yeah.
So I think that's that's the one thing that's really soured it for me. I think the game was really good. I don't think anyone would have minded paying £8 for it because I think there's enough there to call it an £8 game. It's Mario at the end of the day. You're paying as much for the license and the franchise as you are for the actual game itself.
Yeah.
And it's a really good game. I just think the way they've sold it is really,
Yes.
it's really underhand. It's
That's
if you've got a
sort of
family.
Nintendo, they know how they seem to make them demand. They know there's going to be demand, but they seem to make. I mean, it's like the NES Classic that there's been on the podcast that you've been through trying to get one.
Yeah.
It's almost like they know that there's going to be demand, so they'll use it as a sort of marketing ploy to not make as many. So there's loads of people saying, "We want
But with this, I mean, this is
on
different.
eBay for £8,000."
This is different. It's digital and it's free to anyone.
Yeah,
can
but
have it.
it's
But
in the same value.
What they're doing is they know people will want to pay for it, so that they are then purposefully making sure that you don't get it for free.
difficult,
That's really that's not right. I mean, I think Apple actually criticise them for a change. I think Apple shouldn't have stopped that.
Yeah.
Because this is not an in-app purchase.
But then
in-app
This is a
purchases
game.
are supposed to
No,
be.
this is a
This is
This is
buy
a
the
trial
demo and then buy the game.
and then buy the game. Yeah.
Which
But then
is-
it's going to make them money as well, isn't it? 'Cause
The
they
game
also-
should have
but
been
to- yes, it
should
will.
have been on there separately as a buy the full
yeah,
game.
they should do what everybody else does, which is a
Trial
light version.
Yeah.
Every other game on the App Store has a light
Yeah.
version if they want to demo it. Whereas this, it was like, no, get the game and then buy the levels when you've had the first
Well,
few levels.
I got confused to begin with because I downloaded it and I was like, okay, play this for a little bit. Play level 1, level 2, level 3.
Tried level
And-
4
and
and was
it got
like, what
to
the
level
hell?
4,
What
I was
the
like,
hell? Yeah.
Pay. I'm like,
Yeah.
well, hang on,
I did the exact same
I've
thing.
just paid for it. You want me to pay another 8? No. Put it down.
I haven't paid for it then.
No, I knew that afterwards, but then at the time I was like, well, hang on. I've just paid for this and you want in-app purchases already?
I thought from the first 3 levels, so it's going to be one of these games where if you wanted to buy add-ons for it to get extra tickets or tokens to do levels before them adding up,
Yeah.
you could do that. Then when it got to £8, I was like, to be fair, it's been quite a good game so far. That's after you made me replay and stuff. I was like, do you know what, I don't mind paying $7.99. But with the first time it popped up, I was like, $7.99 just to play a few Mario levels with, and I've got a
I can
Wii
understand
at
why they've
home,
done it. I just
got a
think it's
Wii U.
underhand, and I think it's.
It is
I think
underhand.
when you consider this is meant to be a family thing, they've done it on purpose to stop people from using the whole point of having the family account on iTunes is that you buy once and
Yeah.
everyone benefits.
Yeah.
Which is and I think like Apple. That's why I feel like Apple should have said to them, no, you can't do that.
Yeah.
Because that's not an in-app
Well,
purchase.
I've done it.
You're
with,
doing is it's an unlock the game. Isn't
I've
it,
done it with
basically?
Katie's that we've set it up as a family thing so that she can use my iTunes music account.
Yeah.
So we did all that the same and everything. So if you said that she can't, then
Yeah, because in-app purchases are not considered an app purchase. Because effectively they're designed to buy credits in games.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit concerned that this might sort of spawn a trend now.
yeah, because
Where
when
people
other
go,
other
oh,
yeah,
well, actually, let's
because
do
other
that
games
because-
aren't going to realise. Oh, right, hang on.
Yeah, we're only getting
We
instead of
can
getting
make money.
$2.99 for this game and 4 people playing it, we could get $2.99 for every person who plays it, which I just think is really wrong, and I think Apple are going to have to do something about that. That was my only gripe with it, and especially as they've come out and said,
Send them an
"There'll be
email, James.
Oh, well, yeah, I'll send them a strongly worded email.
Sure, that'll make a difference.
Nintendo did say we're not going to do in-app purchases. This will just be a one-time purchase. But even the wording they use on the in-app purchase is worlds 1 to 6. So what's to stop them at some point adding
Yeah, adding
worlds
another 10
7 to
worlds.
10 or something?
Yeah.
And it's
Nothing more
£4.
money. Yeah.
But then it's not a one-time purchase. So I think there's room for an extra con there.
Well, them saying that it's not in-app purchases is completely wrong to begin with because it
Well, no,
it comes
they
up
said-
as
they
a
said-
purchase.
They said no in-app purchases like coins and stuff. It was supposed to be a one-time purchase, but that's a lie because it's not really. Anyway, that was my one game I played. I got the NES Classic for Christmas, which I was really chuffed about. So Laura stitched me up all down my other half. She didn't give me that as my main presents. In fact, I had all my presents during the day from various members of the family coming over, and then that was given to me as the very last thing.
Yeah.
So I was quite pleased to receive that at about 8 o'clock at night, I think it was, and I finally got to open that, and I was really pleased to see it. And I've hooked it up. I've had a couple of games. I've thoroughly enjoyed a bit of Mario, although it's far harder than I remember.
Oh yeah, same with Mortal Kombat. I mean, when I was playing Mortal Kombat, I looked up some of the. I think I was playing Mortal Kombat 3, which I looked up
finishing moves.
to try to do some of the fatalities. And I was like, oh no, finishing. Oh, okay, no. I'll try again. Oh, no.
You got 3 seconds to go.
The problem,
Yeah,
the problem I found is unlearning what you know from some games that have followed it. So now in Mario, especially Mario Run, which is a
Hold the jump higher.
Mario's basically like a parkour expert in that.
Yeah.
And he can do anything. But in Mario, the original Mario, it's like jump,
You have to jump.
jump. You can't go back. So if you miss the mushroom or the firefly, you can't go back and get it.
Yeah.
You can't you can't jump off a ledge and do a double jump back the other direction. You can't pull up on the ledge. None of that stuff. And I was like, Jesus Christ, this is far harder than I remember. We've bored Chris, obviously, he's on his podcast. But Punch Out was my other one. That was my other little love from
So what is on there?
Oh God! So there's 30 games. I can't
Super
possibly
Punch-
tell them.
Super
No,
Punch Out.
Super Punch Out was Super
I'll be Super
Nintendo,
Nintendo, won't it?
which I'll come on to in a second. But Punch Out, you got the Mario 1, 2, and 3. Some Mario Arcade, which I've not tried yet. Donkey Kong Jr. So just the throwing the barrels down.
Brilliant game, but
They're great games. Excite Bike, Kid Icarus, Castlevania. And
Paperboy.
no,
Was that SNES?
Not an
That was like
Nintendo,
a
it was
salt-
before. That was like
yeah.
Amstrad and Spectrum days, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I think.
Combo,
Yeah,
I think.
they did Mega Drive.
They probably
versions,
did do them, but they would have been like sequels. But then, and there's a few other classics like Ice Climber and stuff like that. But Zelda, there's a couple of Zeldas on there as well. It's really good. I mean, I haven't played it very much. The one thing I will say is that all the reports that you've read about the ridiculously short cable are entirely true. I tell you no lie, and this is crap for radio. It's that long. I'm not kidding you. That's how long the cord is from the console.
He's talking 40 centimetres.
It's about half a metre. It's ridiculous. And you're there. So it's fine on my desk in my office. But unfortunately, the USB charger on it, which is all it needs to power, is my TV can deal with. So I plug into the USB, it's like my TV, and it will power the console, which is great. But
Does it go through USB on yours then?
USB and
So
HDMI for the visuals.
Oh, HDMI.
Has it
really?
got a separate
HDMI
power
for
cable?
visuals.
Powers off the TV.
It's USB. No, it's USB. So you've got HDMI to send the signal to the television, and then you've got USB, which you can either plug into a plug.
So that's what I mean. So,
or you can plug it into a TV with a USB port, and that will put out enough power to power this tiny PC. So you can do that.
The thing I was going to say then was because not everybody might have a new TV that.
Yeah, no, you can
USB
just put a plug on it.
Yeah.
It's just a USB lead, so you've got to then work out how you're going to power it. They don't give you a plug. They tell you to plug it into the telly, so they're assuming you've got a modern telly. But then the leads on that are long enough that I've got the NES halfway into my living room. I still had to sit on the floor. I couldn't get as far as the sofa to actually play. But it was really, really good. I've got to try and get a second pad now, which is a bit of a challenge. And I know Laura had a right game trying to get it. She didn't get it from Game in the end. I told the story in the last podcast if anyone cares. She got it from Smith's Toys in the end, randomly, and it was.
Oh really?
She was doing She was following a stock checker website.
That was where Vicky was going to get World of Final Fantasy from. But
To be fair, for anybody else that is listening, if you ever have any trouble getting stuff, Smith's Toys seems to be the place to get it from. Because my brother was going mad.
Really.
My brother was going mad trying to get me Guitar Hero a couple of years back when it first came out on the Xbox One.
Yeah.
Couldn't get it anywhere. Smith's Toys, they had a sale on it even.
Yeah. Well, Laura said that it was literally like in and out in minutes, but she happened to catch one in that window of time and got it. So she was obviously chuffed with herself for that. So
Vicky struggled to get the Mega Drive one, and that came into the Argos by us literally on the Christmas Eve it was, and she had to go and get that.
it's weird, isn't it? It's one of those things you think is such an obvious for £50, which is what the Nintendo one cost. I don't know about
I think
the
like you
Mega
said
Drive
though,
one.
I reckon they, like Carl was saying, they deliberately short sell these things to increase the value of them.
Well, if you think that people can make these iPhones, so many of these iPhones,
They don't do that. They don't benefit from that if they do it. What they generate.
They
don't generate money from it because
demand,
the only person who
demand
makes
for
profit is the person who resells it. So they don't make money. What they do is they create news art. Then they create news stories.
That's what I mean.
it's free.
They create more of a need for it.
Yeah.
The original Wii was the prime example.
Especially someone goes, "Oh, I can't get this, so I'm going to want that for Christmas."
They basically ensure that whatever stuff they do create gets sold.
Yeah.
Because everybody's clamouring for it, whether they want it or not. And then it becomes that thing to say on Christmas Day, I've got one. Like, it's that kind of, which is not what I'm doing with it, but that's what some people have done with it, isn't it? Straight to the internet, I've got one. I've got one.
Yeah, the Mega Drive one was exactly the same.
So it's one of those, isn't it? And it'll be the same with the Switch in March when that comes out. Whatever the negative stories are, they'll brush under the carpet. They'll create a false economy, and then they'll make everyone want one. But
Bring
That's
out,
fine. I'll still buy them.
bring out 20 games. You play those 20 games, then play it again.
It's true. Yeah. the only thing, two things I wanted to talk about from a Christmas point of view. Slightly off topic and something that Chris might be able to get him bored with because he's looking increasingly bored as the podcast goes on. He's obviously clearly engaged with us. Chris, what do you know about the Amazon Echo Dot?
Nothing.
Brilliant. So the Echo Dot is technology.
Is that Alexa?
Uses pooters and electricity. What?
Is that Alexa?
Yes, it's Alexa. So I had the Echo Dot, which is the small version of the Echo. So the Echo, for anyone who doesn't know, is basically like a Pringles tube size Bluetooth speaker with a hockey puck on the top, which is the intelligence, and it's a voice. It's like Siri in a little puck. And the Echo Dot is all of that minus the speaker, and it's a third of the price. So it's like 50 quid. So I had one of those to try it out. It's supposed to interact with your smart home stuff, and you can ask it questions, and you can get it to play music from Amazon Prime Music and stuff. Genuinely set it up, took 5 minutes. Couldn't have been simpler. I really like it. First impressions are really good. I get Alexa to turn my lights on. I get Alexa to turn my heating up and down. I get ask her questions. I get my news briefings. That you can ask it in the morning, Alexa, what's the news today? And it will play you news briefings from your chosen news outlets. So you have like Sky News and Sky Sports News are my two. And it literally it's not like a weird robot assistant talking. It's a recorded briefing from those two channels just played back to you, which is quite funky. And then you can get to play music. And actually, the Echo Dot's only a tiny little thing, so it is genuinely the size of a hockey puck. But it puts out enough noise and music to fill my room. You know, if you're a big music lover, it's not going to do the job. You're going to want to hook it up to a speaker, and you can do that with a cable.
Yeah.
But for me, just to put a bit of background music on in the living room, it's perfect. And I'm already thinking of getting at least one more for in the kitchen and maybe one for the bedroom, just because it's a good thing to have. Just to get that kind of thing. So if you're in the kitchen doing a bit of cooking, you can say, Alexa, what's my news today?
Yeah.
And she'll fill you in. And you can ask it questions like, Alexa, what's 100 grams in ounces or whatever, and she'll tell you the conversion. So again, if you're doing something that requires it, it's that hands-free assistance that you can have. So I really enjoyed that. I think it's really cool. I mean, I've not spent ages talking to it because it's probably a little bit like the Xbox was when we first got that. I'll be interested to see if I'm still talking to it in a couple of months. But at the moment, for those little novelty things, to bring that into the living room space, I think it's really cool.
Well, interestingly, you say that. On the second season of Mr. Robot, there's an FBI character that you follow a little bit, and she's quite weird. She's quite lonely, and she when she's at home, she's got one of those, and she talks to it quite a lot because she's quite lonely and stuff. And she's lying there saying, "When's the world going to end, Alexa?" and this, that, and the other. But also there was a video that I seen a couple of days ago that someone had bought this for their dad, and he was quite old, obviously not into his technology. And they said it's not called Alexa. They said it's called Trevor. So there's this old guy sitting on the floor saying, Trevor, play Oasis, Trevor. And it's hilarious. It's like there's this guy filming his dad.
That's not funny.
Saying,
that was probably for a lot of turmoil. That did.
He's just chuckling and saying, Trevor, do this. Trevor, do that. And he's like, he gets to the end of the video. I said, "Yeah, Dad, it's not called Trevor. It's called Alexa." And then it was funny.
Honestly, it's a really cool little gadget.
When I seen it on Mr. Robot, I thought it'd be quite handy.
For the sake of 50, I mean, I'll put one back on my Amazon watch list to keep an eye now. They've been down to sort of 40, I think was the best. And then they do like buy bundles. If you buy 5, you get the 6th free. But you've got to be really into it to do that, I think.
Yeah.
But, if I can pick another one up for about 40, 45, I'll probably do it for the kitchen. And I might think of one, as I said, for
how much is it with the speaker then?
150. And honestly, unless you need the speakers, I mean, you could. The thing with the Echo Dot, you can pair it with a Bluetooth speaker. So if you've already got a Bluetooth
What speakers
speaker,
do they come with? Are they like for that sort of price, like Bose speakers? Or?
No, the Echo. I don't know. I don't know the technologies behind it, mate. I don't think they publicise it. I don't think they're branded. The Echo Dot doesn't have any speakers, which is why it's 50 quid.
No, what I mean is like the full tower.
No idea, mate. They don't advertise it.
Because like, so when you think 150 quid for speakers, a lot of money, isn't it?
It is.
Well, yeah, but to take off the 50 quid for the dot, it's £100 you're paying for the
That's still a lot.
It's
for
the
a speaker.
Bluetooth and the speaker.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, Bluetooth speaker. It's a good size. It
You're
probably
talking
do a
like a
good
Sonos
job.
speaker or something like that for 100 quid, ain't you? So it's going
You
to
can't
be.
get a Sonos for 100 quid.
Well, they're like £200.
It's at least £200. That's not for the base station. That's for just a dumb speaker that doesn't do anything.
It's been a long
And then
time
if
since
you
I
go and
got a
buy,
speaker. That's
if you
when
go and buy
I
a
was a pioneer one, that was like
you go and buy a
200
Beats Bluetooth pill or something, they're like 250 quid or something stupid.
That
That's
expensive,
'cause it's
though.
Beats.
Yeah, of course it is, but this is the thing. So, obviously, I think the Dot is perfectly fine in saying you don't, unless if you've already got a good set of music things at home, where you just want to put a little bit of music on in a room, which is better than a phone quality, but not quite full sound system.
Yeah.
I'd recommend it. And the dock will Bluetooth to another device, or you can just cable it into the auxiliary port. So it's pretty flexible. The only thing I wanted to talk about, which we'd done on Christmas Day, and because it tickled me, and it's a couple of stories for PSVR. So we got the PSVR out on Christmas Christmas Day evening with the family. So the kids had gone to bed, and we got it out, and we had my other half's mother, so the mother-in-law was in it, and we started off on the Shark experience, the shark encounter, and there's that. Genuinely, I didn't think that experience was particularly scary. A lot of the fear is in the anticipation of when it turns up. When it actually turns up, I didn't think it was that scary, but because she wasn't into her games and into technology, what was quite interesting was how she reacted to it. And she wasn't tracking the shark. Like when I saw the shark come on the screen, and I'm sure you guys would be the same.
Well,
you follow it around the room. You want to know where it is.
I think Chris would be the same.
Maybe you wouldn't. You don't take your eyes off it the whole time. You want to know where it's going because you're waiting for it to do something.
Yeah.
She wasn't thinking that way, and it went round her, and she didn't follow it. And then she started to panic because she couldn't find it, and she's looking around, and it was just one of those things that you couldn't have written it. It was perfectly timed. She looked back looked back in front of her just as the shark lunges into the cage, and this huge mouth appeared. She screamed, bearing on my child's asleep, a floor up. She screamed, fell back onto the sofa. It was just the funniest thing. We were pissing ourselves laughing at her.
Why didn't you record it?
Well, we wish we were. I thought Laura was doing it, but she wasn't. And then the second one, which I don't think the actual incident was filmed, but some of it was filmed, was my mum. So I got my mum involved, and she was doing some of the shooting gallery in the heist, which is using the motion controller. So you pick up the guns, you dock the ammo in and stuff, and you shoot. But I then put her onto the level with real people. So she's in a room. There's only one level. You're in a room behind this desk. You're doing a jewel heist, and the security guys are after you. They know you're in there. So they're coming in the different doors shooting at you, and all you can really do is crouch behind this desk and peek through little holes and shoot back, and you put your gun out and you can shoot and stuff, and it's really funny. But there's two things my mum managed to do. I've got a low-hanging chandelier, so the first thing she did was she tried to shoot someone up in the air, hit it and shit herself because it made a loud noise. And the second thing was she got so immersed in what she was doing, she forgot that this table she was sitting in front of wasn't real. So she went to lean on the table and fell forward. It was just one of those things that was just really, really good fun. And we got my father-in-law in it as well. He really liked it. He was doing Job Simulator and he thought it was hilarious. And it was just it was a good sort of group exercise. We played.
It's one of those things, isn't it? It's not at the moment. It's not great to play by yourself. You wouldn't.
I think it is. It's just you've got to have the right environment. The problem I've got is it's in my living room, and I can't do that until my little one goes to bed. There's a lot of setup required to get all the stuff out.
There's not that many games really at the moment, is it? That involves like one.
Not for the PSVR. There's quite a few for the PC versions.
But a lot of the fun is like seeing.
They're all a sound as well. So if I wanted to pick some up, they've all gone half price. But Star Wars VR, I had a little go at the other night. That was good fun, although a little bit motion sicky because there's quite a lot of banking in the jet and stuff that made me feel a little bit unwell. But we did play as a family the Keep Talking Till the Bomb Explodes, and that was really good fun. You have to know to a basic level the layout of the control pad to be able to play it as the person, because you don't see the pad represented, so you have to know where the X button is and stuff like that. Oh, okay. Laura's just texted me to say Carrie Fisher has died.
Oh, okay.
Jesus, so having said that she was in intensive care. Yeah, thanks for that. Well, we'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah.
But live news coming in on the podcast. But so on the PSVR, as I was saying, the bomb exploding game was hilarious. So, we got me and my brother were playing because we know the pads.
It's originally a PC game.
I think that's why. The only thing it misses is the motion control. Because it was designed for the Oculus, which didn't have motion control at the time, it is controller based. So it kind of loses the ease of access for people who don't know their way around a controller. If it was just a case of manipulating the bomb with the motion controls, that would be much more fun, I think. Having said that, it is really good, and you've got to be pretty good with the puzzle solving side of things to understand and interpret the instructions.
Yeah, I've watched a few YouTube videos on it of people who have played it, and it's a bit like trial and error. You'll get better of it as you play more.
You have to learn some of the bombs. So once they start you off with some of the components, once you get your head around those, they introduce new ones, and you've got to learn those. Yeah. And you get to a point where you're supposed to be able to do bombs with up to 10 different components on them in a 5-minute window. But at the start, you're struggling to do one with 3 on it. So you must have to get very good at the sort of solving the problem side of things to be able to do it.
So the whole thing, though, isn't it? Once you know, I suppose once you go through the different motions of everything, you'll learn how to do things quicker and what buttons to press. And
So let's bring ourselves back around on, as we've already clocked up. I think we're probably knocking on about an hour now, and we've still got our Christmassy quiz to wrap up the year, and we've got to talk about Rogue One and Chris's movie review. Let's bring him back in from the doldrums.
I'm here.
He's here. Chris, do you want to hit us with your little movie review that you picked up over the festive period before we talk about Rogue One?
Chris has been to the cinema and seen at least one movie. But what was it? And what did he think of it? This is Chris's movie review.
Yeah, sure. So this sort of you had a slight call to arms in the last podcast, requesting I watch a really crap film, and although I didn't necessarily intentionally, because I didn't know what this film was going to be like.
You didn't go and watch the other two, did you?
No, I watched. No, I'm definitely not going to do that. I saw the opening bit with Justin Bieber, and that was enough to make me realise I won't.
This
like
is
the
terrible,
film.
isn't it?
That's
probably the best bit.
Because I thought that would be funny, and as you say, actually glamorise it. It's
Yeah.
like his agent actually was like, "Oh yeah, let's do this."
It makes him look cool, doesn't it?
It's
Yeah.
ridiculous. Anyway, so I watched Dad's Army, and the reason I put that on is because my dad liked the original series, and he's a bit fussy, so if I'm honest, there wasn't going to be a film I knew I would like that I could put on knowing that he would watch, whereas I knew that was geared towards him, so put it on. Plus points, Catherine Zeta-Jones, for her age, still looks absolutely phenomenal. She's incredibly easy on the eye. But it's...
So penis points.
It's a terrible film.
Standard Chris.
It's absolutely awful. No, but it says you, pot kettle. It's awful. For a comedy, I think I chuckled a couple of times. Like Michael Gambon's character is a little bit funny because he's kind of a slightly senile. He was all right. The rest of them
did really bad in reviews, didn't it, to be fair?
It's just poor, really, really poor. So as I say, I felt like I've done that service and watched a film that's terrible.
What would you put on it as a score? If you don't want to talk about it anymore.
It'd be generous to give it 2 stars. I think I'd have to give it 1 because for a comedy to not make you properly laugh once isn't very good, is it?
So I'm going to do another little side-track movie review because I just remembered that we watched it. Having you say about that, I mean, Dad's Army, I remember, wasn't exactly that funny to begin with.
Not for us. It wasn't aimed at our generation, though, was it?
I
agree.
We watched yesterday or the day before the Ricky Gervais, David Brent on the Road.
Right, okay.
That was awful.
See,
Awful.
as a massive Office
was it
fan,
really? I'm good
as a
about that.
massive
It was
Office fan,
awful.
I wouldn't say it was awful, but I would say it's nowhere near on the level. For me, you can tell Stephen Merchant isn't co-writing now, so it's not as good.
I think the problem is back
too
then
funny.
with The Office, it was new, it was funny.
Yeah.
You seen that character and you're like, yeah, he's just weird. And you watch The Office and you're not really going to watch David Brent on the Road. You've not watched The Office.
No, I'd agree.
And watching that, it wasn't funny. It was a case of it was a film at a time. It was
Yeah,
it
I
was
know what you mean.
You couldn't relate to the character at all.
Having never seen it, was that my worry and the reason I didn't bother going out and chasing it down and watching it was that it was going to be too much Brent. Whereas in The Office, you kind of
Yeah,
had the
Tim and
balance between
Dawn.
Brent
It
and
was
the
all
other
Brent.
characters.
Yeah,
All
it
That's
is.
the thing, though.
I've never
I did
thought
feel
it was
like
funny
if it
anyway.
was just
Oh, The
him,
Office is
The Office,
hilarious.
I
The
love The
Office in
Office,
parts
yeah.
was funny,
but because of his
could tell,
relationship with
but
the other people.
Yeah.
Whereas if it's
And
just Brent, my concern
there's
was,
none of that.
is it a bit
It's
is it
not-
self-indulgent?
That's
is it
not
really
the
just-
biggest problem for me.
So
The biggest-
you've seen.
Yeah, so the biggest problem for me is that so The Office, all of the episodes in the series, including the Christmas special, which were as perfect as TV can get for me in terms of wrapping up a series and still leaving you wanting more, were Stephen Merchant and Ricky Gervais writing. Obviously, Ricky Gervais is the main actor in it, but they co-wrote it. And everything Gervais has done on his own since, including specifically Derek especially, is self-indulgent, and it's almost him. If you follow him on Twitter, he's actually for someone who I look up to in terms of loving The Office. He's incredibly annoying as a person. He's really egotistical. Rams his belief. Like, he's an atheist, and I am as well. But to be honest, he makes me want to not be an atheist.
Chris,
the
he's
way
going
he
to tweet
goes
about
on.
this now, and he's going to slag us off on his
Oh
Twitter
yeah,
account.
I know. But if you
Long-time
watch a
listener.
series I do recommend, Carl, it's Hello Ladies. Download that. So that's a show that Stephen Merchant wrote on his own, and it's him set in America being an awkward dater, and that is very funny. And having watched that and then watched Derek, for me it looks like the heart and humanity of The Office, so the Tim and Dawn thing, I think that's probably Stephen Merchant's writing. And I think some of the funny Brentisms were Ricky Gervais, and like you say, in conjunction, he worked really well, but on his own.
Well, Vicky had never watched his stand-up, and I do like some of his stand-up.
Some of his stand-up's funny, yeah.
We watched Animals, which was probably one of my favourite.
I loved Animals.
Which is early Ricky Gervais, which is he's funny. He's not got the head of a massive guy. He's not got the massive ego that he had in Animals. And then we watched Science, which I watched live.
I watched live.
And I'm watching it again, Science, and I'm thinking...
Was that his second one?
No, I think it was his third.
So I had the second
Politics
one.
was his first. Second one was Animals.
So Animals
and then
was first, then
Science was a few years
I saw
later.
Science.
Animals
Did you
came
see me
first,
then?
then it was Politics. So I'm
Sure,
sure I had
Politics
Politics afterwards and didn't like that as much.
But anyway, when he was in Science, he'd done all of his Hollywood stuff, the Ghost one or whatever it was, and he was so up himself. It was just, I was like, yeah, it's from watching one to the other, it's hard because you're like you're not that good.
He shouldn't have ever.
Especially not now, because you don't really hear about him that much.
It tarnishes
these
the
days.
legacy because the Christmas special just ended perfectly. Just leave it
It's
there.
like a lot of things there in this last couple of years where people have decided to revisit beloved franchises and then rip them apart.
And that was prime example of that David Brent, because it just didn't work. Back then it worked because it was new, it was funny,
brilliant.
but now we just like, it's been done to death. It's like, no, don't do it. So,
I'm trying to find out which ones.
I'm sure Politics, I've never seen Politics, but I'm sure Politics was
I thought
first.
that
and
came
then it was
second.
Animals.
No, I had the DVDs for the first couple.
Yeah.
And I could have sworn Animals
I
came
might be
first.
wrong, but this is going back a while, but I haven't watched his stand-up for a while.
Would they be classed as filmography on IMDb, or is that?
I don't know.
They're DVDs. No.
But yeah,
they are.
David Brent, Laugh on the Road, just don't bother. It just wasn't funny.
Apparently, he was in Grand Theft Auto 4 as a voice. Who knew?
Yeah, it was on the TV channels because he had stand up in the TV channel. Grand Theft Auto 4. You know, if you went into your room, sat there and watched TV, he was in there.
Really?
He was doing it. Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't know that.
Yeah, I knew that.
Oh, well, you
I
learned
watched
something
it for a little bit.
Well, I'm glad you share my pain of having seen a film that was.
No, Politics was number 2. So
Yeah,
Animals
so
was
it
first.
Okay.
Okay, so I think we should then move on from your movie review. You tanked Dad's Army, you gave it a what?
One star.
Wow, that bad.
Yeah, David
So
Brent.
It'd be zero if Catherine Zeta-Jones hadn't been in it.
I think we should come on to our hot topic, and is relevant to our movie, which is Rogue One, and then the passing of Carrie Fisher, which obviously we've just heard about. Literally on Sky News now it says 1 minute ago. So for the you guys who aren't looking at your phones, while I'm reading mine,
Vicky's literally just texted me to say she's died as well.
I can't believe that. I thought she was going to pull through after the heart attack. Sounded like she was stable, didn't it? What they said, or that she was in intensive care. The article's not loading, which is really useful. Do you want to lead us on our Rogue One discussion before we talk about Carrie Fisher specifically?
Sure. I mean, I guess we don't want to go too in depth, do we? At this point.
Yeah, so
should we do a bit of
we're
quick
going to do a
summary?
spoiler cast as a
and
separate
rating.
episode. So yeah,
Okay.
maybe just an enjoyment and a rating. A good way to go.
I personally enjoyed it quite a bit, and about 4 stars for me.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I'd give it 3. I wouldn't say it was. There was some bits that annoyed me a little bit, but not to the extent that I would give it any less than 3.
I'd say I like the film as a whole, but it didn't thrill me. I'd only probably give it 2 stars, 1.5 to 2 stars maximum.
So I also came out with this Adam, you saw it on your own, whereas I actually saw it with Carl and Chris and a couple of the other guys, and everybody else, I think, apart from me, came out and said really liked it, and I went, I'm not sure. And similarly, I think I wouldn't sit here and tell you it's a bad movie because
it wasn't bad.
Reflecting on it, it was good. There was some good scenes. There was lots of action, relatively good CGI and all that sort of stuff, and I just found myself halfway through thinking,
I mean,
I'm bored. Why am I
I
bored?
saw this with my girlfriend Katie, and she was like, we literally within an hour in, we both looked at each other and went, yeah, this isn't great.
I think my problem, having reflected on it for a few days, is possibly something sort of seated in the prequel mentality.
Yeah.
I think knowing where it was going,
Yeah.
I just couldn't get invested. So although I sat there and went, what a great film, really enjoyed it, good story, good plot, good characters, good visuals, all that stuff was great. I was bored because I think I knew what was going to happen. And I think when I know what's coming, I'm like,
But
Yeah.
one thing that made me like sort of think was when they're in that town. I can't remember what it's called, where it's all sort of deserty.
No spoilers from
No spoilers. All deserty, yellowy. I was like, this is the same old.
But that's the Star Wars
They
world.
were
Yeah.
trying to be fake.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
and it's
that for
supposed
me
to
is
feel
maybe
like,
it's like
and I think they did as well. It's supposed to feel like it's part of the original trilogy.
Yeah.
Isn't it? It's
Yeah.
supposed to feel like part of that film sequence, which they did really well. I think, generally speaking, the look and feel tied nicely into that.
Yeah.
I think the problem is because the story is so butt up against A New Hope in terms of what it's delivering,
Yeah.
without spoiling anything, that you're just like, okay, if I'd have seen this before I saw A New Hope, I think I'd have loved it
Yeah.
because it was an original story.
Without a doubt.
I'd say the only
But
good
sitting
thing
there
about
knowing
it
the
was,
ending, I was like, But then you don't know the ending, but you kind of know, where
Yeah.
the story arc's
Yeah,
going.
you know where it's going.
The only
Yeah.
good
So you
thing
can't
that I
do
found
anything.
about it was it, like you said, it felt like the final three. So, like after the Anakin
Yeah.
Skywalker stuff, like the Anakin Skywalker stuff, all the things seemed newer than the last three. Whereas this was everything.
Yeah.
It followed on, didn't it? There was no sort of technology that wasn't
But
used in
weirdly,
the
I
last
found
ones.
there was a lot I didn't like about the new trilogy, except for there was a lot about it where you didn't know where it was going. That was the only
Yeah.
good thing. Like the story, even though you knew
It was new, wasn't
certain
it?
character
Like the
arcs,
third ending.
there was a lot of stuff you didn't know. Whereas with this one, you kind of from the start, because this film is literally spun out of the opening text sequence to Star Wars: A New Hope, isn't it? They reference this film and the Rogue One team and what they've done in that opening scrolling text. So they've literally took that bit of story and gone blow a movie out of
Okay.
it, which is quite a lot to do.
Before we do the spoiler cast, just a quick bunch around the table. Who do you think the best character was in the movie? So I think that will say a lot.
The droid. K2.
No.
I think that's difficult because I like most of the characters, but yeah, probably go with the droid.
K2. That's where
You
I was
didn't like
going.
him, did you?
I know he pissed me off.
No, I like
Yeah.
K2.
I'll talk about that in the spoiler cast, but I genuinely don't think I have a favourite. I probably liked the blind dude.
He was
Yeah,
good,
he was
Yeah.
good.
But that was one of the
That
two.
was my
That's what I was
second-
sort of getting at, is that the best character in the movie wasn't human.
We'll go more in depth.
Cover that,
We'll
yeah.
go more in depth.
Donnie
Okay,
Yen
so
reminded me
That'll
of
do
Daredevil.
for now, innit?
So if you haven't listened to the spoiler cast and you've seen the film and you plan to listen to it, some interesting, potentially some clashing views there then. Let's get into that afterwards then.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so we've been going on for quite long enough, I think, in this particular episode, and we've got a fair bit of quiz to get through, so we need to wrap this up. Do you need to take a comfort break, Carl?
No, all right. Come here.
So, we've been doing a quiz now every episode, and we thought we'd round out. Good one.
Cheers.
Bit of glass clashing there. Thought we'd round out 2016 and reset the scores for the new
That
year.
was
And
Carl
have
trying
some
to
sort
knock
of-
Chris out so he doesn't win the quiz.
We'll have some sort of new scoring for the new year, and we'll
need
have
a
some
glass
sort of prize to target. So, by the end of 2017, there'll be something to play for, and that's what we should try and do.
Okay, yeah. I'm
Your
ready for
house?
that.
My house. No, I don't think that's going to work. Laura will not be happy with that. Especially as I can't win it. So that would be kind of stupid, wouldn't it?
Maybe your child?
Well, you don't play, you
My
don't
child-
participate.
my
You're
child,
the
my house.
quiz master.
Maybe that feels a little too grand.
throw
I was thinking
Olivia
more
in
like a
with
box
it.
of chocolates or a game or a movie or something or a cinema. I don't know. Anyway, we'll worry about it later. So what I've done today, we've strayed away from our usual 3-question format. I've extended it a little bit. In terms of score, just to let you know where we're at. So Chris is streets ahead, and in order to make it interesting, I've made sure there's enough points on hand that Chris could be caught quite easily. So Chris is on 13 points, Carl is on 7, Adam is on 4. So there's a gap there to make up. However, there are 2 different rounds to the quiz today. We've got our Christmas cracker jokes, and there are 10 of those. 10 Christmas cracker jokes. Well, I want to amuse our listeners as well. I'm going to give you 3 points for every correct answer. If you can give me, and the first person to give me the correct punchline will get 3 points. If you get the gist of it, I'll give you a point.
Okay.
And then the second part of the quiz is stolen directly from IGN's UK podcast. If any of you listen to it, it's the keyword countdown. So IMDb, if you don't know, have a very, very long list of really weird keywords associated with individual movies in order to help you find them by search engines.
Yeah.
Some of them are really out there. So I'm going to count you down through 10 different... So I've got 5 movies. Each movie I've got 10 keywords for. And you'll get the points associated with the number at which you guess. So there's 10 in total. If you guess it on the first keyword, you're going to get 10 points. If you guess it on the last keyword, it's worth a point. Does that make sense?
So we've got to tell you when we
And
guess
I
it.
will start. No, I will read them out, and you shout when you think you've got the film. And if you've got it, I'll tell you, and I will stop the score at
Oh, I
that point.
see.
Does that make
Sorry.
sense?
Yeah.
Can I
And
go
there's
for a wee wee?
5 movies. You can go for a wee wee.
Good.
While you're doing that, and just before you do that, we have a special jingle as it's Christmas. It's been provided by a
Gav.
kind gentleman who provided the last one. So I'm going to play that for you now,
Okay.
and then we will start the quiz as soon as
Already
Carl
heard it.
returns. Yes, Carl has already heard it in the car. I only received this, to be fair, a few minutes before we were due to go starting, because I only asked for it about an hour before I came here. So this is what Gaz knocked up in a very short period of time. This is for your pleasure. So this is for our Christmas quiz. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas, and we hope you all win, except for Carl. Merry Christmas, everyone, from the Christmas Fairy. So there we go. That's our little quiz
It's not
jingle.
right in the head.
I gave him less than an hour to come up with that, to be fair. And I actually got it from his wife's phone, which is even funnier when you think that she must have had to listen to that or potentially record it as he sang it however many times. So that's our quiz jingle. So we need to probably have a way to capture. Well, if we actually don't need to write anything down. Just
No.
thinking about it. It's just going to be shouting out. I need to capture your scores.
Go over the rules again.
So I'll do them for each round. Let me just very quickly make a note for myself as to who is scoring what.
We've got to get the punchline of the Christmas cracker.
Because some of us have had a few beers and didn't take in the last lot.
So Christmas cracker joke's going to be shout out the.
I will read you. Yeah, so I will read you the joke, the opening part of the joke, and then you can tell me what the punchline is.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Whoever's closest or gets the gist wins.
I will let you have as many goes as you want. If you get the exact, or as good as the exact wording, I'll give you 3 points. If you get the gist, and I don't want to continue the guessing because it's getting boring, I'll give that person a point.
Right.
And then the movie's going to be like keywords. If you get it,
So whoever
first
gets
word,
it
you get
first,
10
you get
points.
So I will slowly read through
But then
the
it'll
10
go through.
keywords,
Yeah.
and your points on hand,
So
points of hand will go
I'm going
down.
to lose this quite badly.
So it could be
Not necessarily.
chocolates, Forrest Gump, like 10 points, but then it could be like run.
Yeah, because I've got it.
Yeah,
I've
I'll
also
lose.
picked 5 Christmas films, so
Die Hard.
to keep it themed, it may or may not be in there. I'm not going to tell you, I might, because that would spoil the quiz.
Friggin' hell.
You might only guess. It might, yeah, it might not be
Oh,
in there at all. and you
I
might
have
guess
a
in Die Hard.
machine gun. Ho, ho, ho.
Has everyone watched that this Christmas?
Yes.
I watched it this Christmas.
Mate,
Actually,
first of
I think,
December.
I need to.
Oh,
I know, it's the
Mate,
first Christmas
first
that
of
happened.
December, that goes on. My
So-
missus watch it every year, 1st of December. She hates
I was
me
going to
for
watch
it.
it Christmas
but
Eve, and then I decided to bring it forward a few days, and I watched it the night I broke up from work. Which was
It's not Christmas till Hans Gruber dies.
And Stu was got a drop.
It's just a
to
die.
celebrate Christmas. We on Christmas Eve, what did we watch in the end? I think we watched Elf, and then with Olivia we watched A Muppets Christmas Carol, which was
Christmas Eve, we watched Home Alone 2 because we watched Home Alone 1 the week before.
nice. Gotta be traditions. It's all about traditions. Are you relieved?
Can't be a bit of Home Alone.
Carl is suitably relieved.
Has he gone to get answers? Is this some sort
completely
of
broke the
elaborate
seal.
cheat?
That's because you put away some normal bottles of Corona and a large bottle. That's
Yeah,
probably
I
why.
know.
I think he's gone off to get like Google IMDb and Christmas cracker jokes.
You would
and stuff.
have to be.
I went to
very
Wii.
good.
Well, whatever.
Well, that's unnecessary.
Well, I've got no left now, so,
So-
I've only got a little bit of coke.
To be fair, it's
Cherry Coke left.
Yeah, cherry Coke.
It's nothing fancy.
We're talking, to be fair, this is the first time I've drank all Christmas because Christmas Day I was driving. I had to go pick the missus up and.
Are you justifying how many cans you drank
Yes.
live on the podcast?
Yes.
Shall we get on with the quiz?
Yeah, let's do it.
So, I'm going to keep note of the scores as you go in this, and then we'll add them to the scores that you've already got and work out who actually won for this year. Does that sound fair?
Go on, let's go.
So, your first joke. What is Good King Wenceslas's favourite pizza? You don't want too much silence because this is a podcast.
Oh my god.
have
Who
no
is Good
idea,
King
yeah.
Wenceslas?
Good King Wenceslas.
Part of the rhyme, isn't it?
There's a rhyme, isn't there?
Not if I can remember the rhyme.
Pepperoni.
Pepperoni, no.
Oh, so you're keeping track? We don't have to keep track.
No, you haven't got to write anything down. I want you to shout them out. Because first person in gets the point.
Ham.
Hawaiian, no, I think you're all thinking a little bit too boring there. It's a Christmas joke, so I think it's going to be something cheesy, isn't it?
Turkey and stuffing.
Does that no? Does no one think they have the answer?
Cheese pizza.
Okay, I'll give you the answer then. So no points for this one.
Yeah.
Good King's Wenceslas' favourite pizza is one that's deep and crisp and even.
Okay.
Deep and
right.
crisp
yeah,
and
yeah,
even.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I don't even
I
know
didn't
that.
remember the rhyme.
Carol.
So I
You
know
don't know
just-
the rhyme?
No.
Oh, God,
I
Adam. where
kind of
did you-
know the wrong, but I couldn't
When you
remember.
said it, I do.
Okay, so number 2. Still points on offer. What do elves learn at school?
Elvish.
Elven.
Yeah.
No.
Toy making.
You're thinking too literally. It's a joke, Adam. It's not like an actual.
I don't know.
It's not a genuine question. There is no such thing. Unless you're under the age of 10, in which case it's all true.
I'm in competitive mode now.
The,
so I'm
the
quiet,
Santa
that's why.
Claus. That's not.
Although I had to be
Watch that
small.
over Christmas time.
How to be small. No need to learn that. If I think you need each person needs to individually throw the hat in when they're done. So if you don't have a clue, call it.
Building snowman.
Building snowman, no. No
Grant.
one gets it? I thought it'd be a few easy ones here, clearly not. No?
No.
No one's got it?
What was the question again?
What do elves learn at school? I'd like to think someone's listening to this, if anyone listens to
Oh,
this,
I don't have a
screaming
clue.
the answer. The alphabet.
Oh my god.
Oh,
So,
Christ. Yeah.
okay, so another cheesy Christmas joke, Christmas cracker joke, but not a Christmas themed one. What lies at the bottom of the sea and shivers? What lies at the bottom of the sea and shivers? I didn't say any of these would be funny either, by the way.
Yeah, obviously.
They're Christmas cracker jokes. They're not meant to be.
Rudolph?
I said it wasn't Christmas related.
No, you really
Oh, it's
drunk.
not really.
It's just about Christmas. It's a cracker joke, but it's not Christmas related.
What laws?
Davy Jones's
You've been
meat
to-
locker.
No, no one got this one.
Melted snowman?
Something Reef.
There's something written
That
down.
melted snowman? I don't know.
No,
It's not Christmas related, apparently.
a nervous wreck. Come on,
You're terrible.
this quiz is tanking so far. Come on, lads. Why can't Christmas trees knit?
Because they're always using fern.
I don't know what that's got to do with knitting. No,
Well, Christmas trees are ferns, aren't they?
Because they've only
what's
got
it got to do with
pines.
knitting?
Because they're all, you can't knit
Because
with
they've got-
fern,
I genuinely
obviously.
thought one of you
Because they've only
did
got needles.
No, not
'Cause they're
quite.
not.
I might have to give you a point if someone else can't come with a better answer to that.
What was the question again?
Why can't Christmas trees knit?
Because they've got too many needles, or they've got
they've got
loads of needles but no cloth.
I'm going to have to give Adam 1 point on this
Okay.
one, I'm afraid. It's because they always drop their needles. So I'm going to give Adam, well done, finally a point that you scored.
Well done.
Yes.
I don't know if you're going to get this one. How did Mary and Joseph know Jesus was £7 5 ounces when he was born? So how did Mary and Joseph know Jesus was £7 5 ounces when he was born? Don't dwell on the number. No?
Because he fitted in a pint glass? I don't know.
It's in a pint glass. Why would Mary and Joseph have a pint glass?
I don't know. Why would they know?
Because they were
something about
drinking
5
while giving
ounces?
birth.
Well, how would you find out the weight of a child?
Because I don't know.
What would you do?
I'd weigh milk against
Okay,
them.
so there's a word there you could start to use to think about this.
They
Think Christmas and think rhymes, boys. Come on. How did Mary and Joseph know Jesus was £7 and 5 ounces?
he was deep and crusty and filling.
I don't know these Christmas
Deep and crisp and
rhymes,
even.
yeah.
I was thinking of the first.
They had a
question.
way in a manger. Come on.
Oh, these are really
I know they're
difficult.
bad Christmas cracker jokes. Okay. This one's... I like this one. What's round and bad-tempered?
Me.
Me.
No, me actually.
Neither. Neither is correct.
The
I don't think you'll get this either on the base.
Rudolph's red nose.
It's not Christmas related, it's just a bad cracker joke.
Santa.
It's not
Nose.
Christmas related, it's a bad cracker joke.
Okay.
And bad-tempered.
What's round and bad-tempered?
Silence.
Chris needs just a couple of points to sew this thing up on this basis
Oh
because
God.
it could all be lost on the movie round if he's not careful.
Bad-tempered.
No? No one got it? Anyone want to throw your hat?
Beach ball.
A beach ball? No. Throwing the towel in?
Yeah.
A vicious circle.
Oh.
Christ, that's
If anybody gets these, right, please let us know. Because
Well,
this
there
is
might be all
terrible.
the same crackers as
Susie
James.
Dent might get these. But we've
Did
got
Did you
no
get your
good
crackers
chance.
from like Poundland or
I
something?
Googled it. On which side do chickens have the most feathers?
And silence.
Backside.
On which side do chickens have the most feathers?
The other side.
The other side.
Because the chicken crossed the other side of the road.
Nothing to do with crossing roads. On which side do chickens have the most feathers? This joke could be any bird. I could put what. On which side do ducks have the most feathers, and the same answer applies.
Backside.
It's not
You
the
said that
backside.
already.
Underside.
It's not the underside.
Top side. Head side.
You move. Eventually, you'll run out of words.
The other side of Christmas.
The other side of Christmas. No.
Well, so they get plucked for Christmas.
Before
Turkeys for
Christmas.
Christmas, technically
I
speaking.
don't know.
Oh, it's still bad.
I don't know.
No one
I
get
give
this
up.
one either. It's so obvious the answer is the outside. So
Is that obvious?
what kind of paper likes music?
Music paper.
No. Music paper.
I
I feel like this one's got to be if someone's got to get this one. What kind of paper likes music? This one is Christmas related.
Enemy.
Wrapping paper.
Wrapping paper.
Oh,
Come on.
The one
Yeah.
person who shouldn't get it is the person who got it.
This should be,
Booyakasha.
Chris should be all about these. It should be all Christmas jokes. Why does Santa have 3 gardens? Come on. I feel like you could get this one. These last 2 possibly are Chris's to
Ho,
take
ho,
us
ho.
still.
Because of the
Ooh.
because
He
of
likes
the
the ho,
reindeer.
ho, ho.
So he can ho ho ho. I'm going to give Adam 3 points for that one.
Oh,
Play.
fuck a
So the last question
On the
in this
outside.
amazing round
Is it worth 10
of
points?
intense quizziness. No.
Okay.
How did Scrooge win the football game? It's right up your street, Chris. Come on.
Because he's a villain?
No.
No, I was clutching straws there.
Because he could see the future.
No.
Because he used Christmas present, Christmas future, and Christmas past to learn football.
You're on to a point so far. I'm going to give you a point.
Can I have a point,
You can
please?
expand it. You got a point if
See,
you
past,
so if someone
present,
expand
and
it, they'll
future.
take your point.
Past, present, and future. He passed.
Okay, yeah.
Past.
Actually hit my nose.
Present.
No, you would try and expand on your own answer since
Past,
you're
Oh,
right.
well, I'm thinking.
Future.
I'll ask you one more time and then I'll wrap it up. How did Scrooge win the football game? Currently, Garl's getting a point.
Because he passed to...
He passed the
Christmas
present,
past.
present to
And he
future,
passed to
future
Christmas
scored.
past.
You've made it way too complicated. The answer was the Ghost of Christmas Past, and I'll give Carl a point for that. So that was an utter disaster.
Sorry, mate.
So after
Not
round
well,
one,
yeah.
after my crushing round one, Adam's got 4 points, Chris has got 3 points, and Carl has 1 point.
Yeah, that's just what we wanted
So
to happen.
all Adam's done is made ground on Carl and a little bit on Chris, but Chris is still out in front with a good 6 or 7 point lead, I reckon.
Cool.
They could all change now. So this is Christmas keyword countdown. 5 films, big points. Are you ready?
Yeah.
So the first film, I'm going to literally read the words, and I'll work my way down to one of you shouts the right answer.
Yeah.
Hero,
Big Hero 6.
Parade, Dwarf.
Sorry, just...
Jingle all the way.
These are all
Jingle all the
keywords.
way.
Jingle all the way.
I was going to say
Watch that
first one.
8 points to Chris.
I'll think of a name.
Okay, well, game over then.
There's still 40 more points on offer.
Yeah,
the first one.
So, what-
I'll
just
think of a
explain
name.
to me what,
So
again
I
what we
said
do.
hero,
So I'm
mate.
reading
I'll
you
think of-
keywords, and every time I read a keyword, the number of points on offer goes down by 1 until I run out of my
And it's
10
not...
keywords.
Is it a word
It's a film.
in the film?
It's a film title.
Yeah, well,
they're
they're
keywords,
yeah.
which in theory
I've
you
got to
can
jump in
find the
faster.
relevant.
So it's Star
You know how
Wars
keywords
space,
work in Google.
wouldn't it?
Literally, after Hero, I was going to say Jingle All the Way.
Let me
I
just
said
quickly
Dwarf.
read those for you. We had Hero, Parade, Dwarf, Consumerism, Eggnog, Father-Son Relationship, Postman, Christmas Tree, Theft, and Action Figure. With the
I honestly,
keywords.
I'm like AJ. I knew after Hero, I just couldn't think of the film. I was like,
So, movie 2. Public humiliation.
Bad Santa.
Lifting a female into the air.
Dirty Dancing.
Villain turns good.
Oh, this.
Based
The
on
Grinch.
a children's book.
Christmas Carol.
It's The Grinch.
I haven't seen it.
Sorry if you...
So, 7 points for you for that one, Carl.
Okay.
Movie 3. Christmas Party.
Santa Claus.
Underdog.
Die Hard.
Die Hard. 9 points for Adam.
Wow, fair play.
So I'll just read those last ones out. Sorry, on The Grinch, the other ones were Childhood Sweetheart, Character Naming Title, Little Girl, Sleigh, Village, 2000s. Die Hard was Christmas Party, Underdog, Gunfight, Catchphrase, hip hop music, Rolex watch, one against many, air vent, rocket launcher, and Christmas Eve. So they're very random.
Okay.
Movie 4. We're quite close, but I don't think Chris is in peril at the moment.
Yeah.
Well, you're only about 7 points clear, so
I
I
was
don't
going
want
to
to
say,
pick a good
it
one.
takes 2 to win.
Movie 4. Female frontal nudity. Portuguese. Gremlins. Portuguese.
The beach.
Are these all Christmas films?
Rockstar. There might be. Personal assistant.
Elf.
Expensive gift. Implied fellatio.
The In-Betweeners.
Mob of photographers.
Oh,
Director.
Zoolander.
Director cameo.
No.
Christmas song. And the last one, Prime Minister.
Oh, Love Actually.
Actually.
I'm going to give that to Carl. So you were very, very close. It's only a point, so it's nothing mega.
I don't remember seeing Implied Fellatio. I watched that 3 days ago.
The two who do the porn.
I didn't watch it that closely. I
Mr.
watched it at the time.
It's the guy from The Office whose name escapes me.
Martin Freeman.
Yeah, Martin Freeman's character. The blonde girl.
Stacey.
Yeah, they-
Oh, yes.
So you've got
that
female
was
frontal
right.
nudity. I think he's heard that they're implying that for. Portuguese is the girl overseas that he falls in love with.
Gotcha.
The rock star is Bill Nye's character. Personal
Yeah,
assistant is the relationship in the office.
Yeah.
Expensive gift is the same. Applied fellatio is the porn.
Prime
Mob of
Minister's
photographers,
one.
I assume, is the Prime Minister. Director cameo. I don't remember when he was
Richard
in it. but,
Curtis must have been in it.
He must have been in it somewhere. Christmas song is obviously the rock star again, and then Prime Minister being the end. So I thought
Okay.
Prime Minister would be the one that would give you.
Yeah.
The last one. So it's very, very close at the moment. Adam's on 13, Chris on 11, Carl's on 9, but that doesn't include your previous totals. So I do think you're safe unless someone gets this on a high school, I think is probably the answer.
Don't stop that.
Is this the last one?
The last one.
Okay.
It's like family
So-
fortunes to steal. This is.
Baby.
Santa Claus.
Baby's Day Out.
Home Alone.
Drinking on... Hang on, someone said something then.
I said
Baby's
Elf.
Day Out.
You said elf, it is elf. Woohoo! So it's 10 points for Carl.
Fuck's sake.
So, yeah, the good one on Baby.
Thank you. Well, we literally watched that yesterday because that was our Christmas Day film.
Yeah.
Oh, not Christmas Day.
Cheated.
Yesterday, don't
So you had Baby,
I think he's won this.
Drinking on the Job, reference to Mona Lisa, Snowball, Chopping Down a Tree, Book Publisher, Central Park Rangers, Christmas Spirit, Man-Child, Female in the Shower. So, if I add these together...
I bet you might have lost that, Chris.
Okay, so let's do the reveal of the scores. So in third place is Adam with 17 points. In second place is Chris with 24 points. And Carl has nicked it at the death with 26 points.
I was literally just going to say every Christmas film I watched over the Christmas period, which was quite a lot.
I thought Home Alone had to be in there somewhere.
If
It wasn't a baby though, was there?
If Chris
No,
is
but I just.
if Chris is in any way moody in the next podcast in the spoiler
I've got to present.
It'll be about as moody
That'll
as
be
Vicky
why,
playing me
yeah.
at Monopoly yesterday.
never mind then. So I think that wraps up our podcast. We've gone well over our intended time.
Definitely, because
So,
we need the toilet.
We're going to let Adam go to the toilet. Thank you for tuning in. If you want to catch any of our other podcasts, you can get them all on iTunes. You can email us with any quiz questions for future shows or any thoughts or comments, or just to let us know you exist at bossbattlenetwork@gmail.com, and you can find us on Twitter at bossbattlenet. I think until next time, that's goodbye from me.
And goodbye from me.
Whatever.
See you later.
There's never going to do his trademark good night.
Good night.
Goodbye.